Hello and a good evening to you. I trust that everybody's doing great. Hey, my name is Yaa'S Tobra, author of The Beauty of a Woman's Heart that you just saw in that video clip. I welcome you to Auntie Yaa'S Book Corner this evening, and today we're doing Auntie Yaa'S reading Nook. So I hope that your day has gone well. The thing about it is, you know, life is going on. We started the month of July just recently. Today is the 29th. And yes, today we're going to talk about time. But before we do that, I'm going to have to share to some groups. The book launch for The Beauty of a Woman's Heart happened last Saturday, and it was a resounding success. But even with that, one can't rest on one's oars, so it's time to do more hard work. So yes, we continue with the promotion of the book. Different things and a variety of programs will be coming up, so watch this platform in the coming days. But I'll have you know that after today's live, Auntie Yaa'S Book Corner is on vacation. We'll be back on Sunday, August the 15th. So do take care of yourselves and be safe, okay? So with that said, I'm going to start the sharing so we don't get behind. Let me share to my wall because I usually tend to forget to do that. So now we're going to go to groups. Yes. You know, I'm somebody who just never really paid attention to time. I turn around, lo and behold, here I am. Time has flown by. But you know, I think that we're a product of our upbringings, and it's not to do the blame game, but rather, in order to be able to speak truthfully, you need to really look at where you've come from and own that before you can create a new way or a new direction and follow that path. So we always have to go back there. And sadly, a lot of us are still stuck in that pattern. And then we hear things like, oh, I can't do this, I'm too old, time has passed by. Or what is Auntie Yaa worrying herself about? Isn't she too old to be doing these kinds of things? But you know, no, there's nothing like being too old. You just got to live, take it one day at a time, and what do you call it? Do what you have to do, whatever that might be for you. But certainly, I don't encourage you to give up because there's more for you to do. Life is not about sitting still. No. Life is about finding out what you are good at and doing it. So, you know, that's what I'll encourage you to do because you don't know when your time will be up. And we need to be honest about that. You know, our people don't tend to like talking about time, and we just let time drift by, and we feel how do I call it? We're very nervous even to talk about death. Oh, why are you saying these things? You are too morbid, and on and on. But life is about planning. You need to plan. And so you need to also plan for the day that you will be called. And nobody knows what that day is. So, yes. So I'm done the sharing for now. Today, where is it? I have so many things on here. Okay, there we go. Understanding the Times on page 123 of The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. So I'm going to read through what I've written and then we'll have that discussion, shall we? Okay, so I write of the sons of Issachar who had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. Their chiefs were 200, and all their brethren were at their command. And it's from First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32 in the Bible. And I ask, do we have an understanding of the present times? Are we living circumspectly or drifting along aimlessly? God has given us wisdom for daily living. Are we in His will or are we living for ourselves? It is important to take stock of our lives periodically. We can choose to do whatever we want without any thought to the consequences. Having an understanding of the time means drawing close to God and standing for the truth no matter what the cost. Standing for the truth comes at a price. Be prepared to pay that price. He calls us to be beacons of light in this age. So basically, oh my goodness, today is another hot one. I think it's probably 31 degrees now, and you come from upstairs and then you have to cool off, and I'm already sweating down here, pardon me. So I just read through that. I wrote this based on First Chronicles 12:32. That passage always fascinates me. It says, of the sons of Issachar who had understanding of the times, understanding of the times. So you and I, the question is, do we have an understanding of the times? Where are you at in your life? What age are you? Do you have a plan for your life? Have you accomplished any of it? Do you revisit this plan periodically to see if you're on track or if you've missed something and do adjustments and carry on? Look, you know that you and I both come from an environment where we were not taught those skills. If you happen to come outside and get some education, then you're exposed to, more critical thinking and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of these things, look, I was in a church probably about 5, 6 years ago, and my pastor had talked about, presented us with a plan for your own development plan. I forget what name we called it, but you get my drift. And I looked at it and I really didn't, pay any mind to it. Anytime you even start to talk about things like financial planning, my eyes glaze over and I go into this fog. So my question again is, do we have an understanding of the times? Our life is made up of different facets or aspects. Do we look at it? What is your plan for your physical being? What is your plan for your mental health? What is your financial plan? Social, career, that type of thing. Personal, like as in your passion and what you want to do. So I say that life is fleeting and it's important that we spend our time wisely. It's because we need a balance. You are in life, you were brought on earth for a purpose. God deposited something in you. Whether you want to accept it or not, that is what it is. So if you are not living out that purpose, you feel it, there's a void in you. You can't do one to the exclusion of the other. You need to have a fine balance, because there's family, there's career, there's your personal goals. You need to make it all match. If you focus too much on one to the exclusion of the other, you will know, because you feel out of sync, you feel out of balance, you won't feel happy, you'll feel like there's something missing. Yes. So I did some, excuse me, I did some research and I came up with two articles that I saw. I've kind of summarized it because I liked what they said. The first ones that I'm going to talk about is Personal Seasons of Life. And I believe it's by a gentleman called, hello, Miss Sage, welcome. How is your day? A gentleman called Ram Jane. Yes, I think, yeah, he had an interesting, you know, it was an article. I think he's something to do with yoga, but for me, I learned from wherever I learned from everybody. Like, I looked at the information that he presented and it made sense to me. So I took some of it and I'm summarizing it. Basically, he presented us with 4 seasons of life. So, what do you call it? Let me pull up this again so that people know what we are talking about. He presented us with 4 seasons of life. And before I go on, even I'll say this. When I first came to Canada, I had a family member who told me this, that if there's something you're supposed to do in a particular season and you don't do it, the next season comes, the opportunity is gone. And I didn't know what, excuse my language, not that I'm swearing, but I didn't know what the heck he was talking about, because in Ghana, we just have the two, rainy season and dry season. And most times, like, the sun is on all the time anyway, like we're just in the heat. But here, in Canada, we have spring, summer, fall, or autumn, and then winter. So when somebody tells you that, you kind of want to think that he's only talking about the weather, but no, there's a time and a place for everything. And if you don't do it at the right time, it becomes a missed opportunity. So this gentleman that I'm talking about, I think the title of his piece was The Personal Seasons of Life. His name is Ram Jain. So he says that the season of winter, you associate that with sadness, heartbreak, loneliness, and sickness. He tells us that the winters are the best times to prepare for the upcoming season because you are reflecting, you are planning, and you are learning. Yes. And it's in that time too that you try to overcome any obstacles that you may be facing. So then we come to spring. The season of spring is full of hope, new beginnings, and opportunities. Hey, I'm a spring chicken. I was born in the month of March. So my most favorite time of the year is when winter is over, like end of March, going into early April, because the snow is done away with, plants are starting to bud, you see things starting to bloom, the sun is out, the days are getting longer. When I get out of my house to go to the bus stop to go to work, I cross my cul-de-sac. Like, here I am, you put on your spring summer wear that you don't need any heavy jackets and woolen stuff all over you. I walk to the bus stop, I have my sunglasses on, I say, hey, tiggity boo, all is well. The thing is, I've missed those 2 seasons because of COVID. Last year, spring, and this year, I've been at home. But that time is my most favorite time of year. I just love it. There's just something about it. So, in the spring, it's like meeting new people, new opportunities. You have to take risk and act. Yes, act and do not hesitate. Don't lose opportunities. Work hard and give your best effort. This is the time to work hard. Yes. So summer comes around and we see seasons of signs of growth. So there is a need for protection. You look at what you've worked on, you review, you evaluate, but you protect what you've accomplished, and then you push on to achieve the other goals. But during the summertime, there's an abundance of distractions. You've noticed that even in North America, you'll be going, and I don't think it's in the the black churches or the Ghanaian churches, but the other ones, right? When it comes to summer, there's a break from programs. We take a break. It's summertime, people are on vacation, this and that. I remember years ago, I used to be in a Baptist church, and a fellow African lady had said, oh, they are taking breaks. Is God on break? So when she said that, I laughed. So I'm using it to illustrate a point. So everything is closed. Then September, we pick it up. So, whether we like it or not, God, like your faith is not something you put away till the fall. Even though things are closed, you need to still be in a prayerful mode, keeping your what do you call it, relationship with God and all that. So the distractions, oh, I'm busy, oh, I'm going on. Look, I'll use myself as an example. And really and truly speaking, I don't know what I'm going to do when I retire, but I have to figure out a plan. I've been on vacation. This is my second day. I started yesterday. And I find that my morning devotion has gone a little sideways. I do it, but if I know I'm working, there's a schedule. I wake up at a certain time, take my shower, come and sit down, do what I have to do. Then when it's time to start work, I start work. So these are some of the distractions that if you are not disciplined, you think, oh, well, it doesn't matter, one day, oh, 2 days. Before you know it, it's a week. And then you're just out of sync. That's me anyway. If you are a believer and you do devotions, or you have a way of, how do you put it, meeting or maintaining that relationship with God, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm using it to illustrate the point that in the season of summer, there's an abundance of distraction. So you need to be aware of that, because if you don't carry on pushing, fall will come. Yes. It says here, it's not time to relax. You have to keep pushing. So your progress is vulnerable and needs to be protected. if you get too joyful, too happy, and and this and that, right? Like, I'm on vacation, but there's things, follow-up items from my book launch that I need to be doing. How am I going to do that? I'm like, hmm. And then by the time I go on vacation and come back, a week would have passed by. But I have to figure something out. So someone might say, oh, what is the big deal? You know what? Time is precious. You need to act quickly. So Ram Jane continues to say, you have to care and persist. Don't give up or get lazy. Be happy about what you've accomplished, but don't forget the final goal. Keep your eye on the prize, on the goalpost right ahead of you, down the road there. Yes, don't lose sight of it. Then we come to the season of fall, and he calls it the moment of truth. So this is where you see the results of your effort. So if you didn't start sowing in winter, you'll be sitting there going, what happened? I've wasted time. Oh, this, oh, that. And you'll be bemoaning your fate. Yes. You will see results, yes, of your efforts from the last 3 seasons. If you've wasted time, it will show. You have to accept your results though, because it's your work, it's the result of your work or lack of work. Yes. Share your successes, evaluate, and do better next time around. So basically, what I've done is I've used the seasons of life to illustrate time. So, in conclusion, he says that we cannot change the seasons, but we can change ourselves. And seasons are not in our control, but our actions are. So if you want to live, this is why the Bible tells us to live circumspectly. Sometimes we don't get it. There's a lot of verses about time, but we don't pay any attention to it. So, in essence, I'm going to take a break right now. When I come back, I'll share another thing about time that I found from another, another blog site, or I don't know what to call it. Yes, time and tide wait for no man. Message, you are right. So you will go on the break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Let's get rid of this banner and go over here. Hello, and we're back. Yes, the book again that you saw is The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. I'm mighty proud of this book because of the impact that it's making on the readers. And so if you don't have your copy, please go to Amazon Canada, US, France, Spain, Germany, Italy, and also UK, and as well Innovi Books. Yes. So, as I said before, we did the book launch last Friday. There'll be a number of programs coming this way after the vacation anyway. So keep your eye on this what do you call it? Auntie Yaa'S book corner. Yes. And also just to let you know that, like I was saying, I'm on vacation right now. So we're going to be away after today until August the 15th. That'll be a Sunday. So you'll see us back then, okay? I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who's been following me since I did my first book. That book is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul, can also be found on Amazon, Freezing Press, Barnes and Nobles, Google Books, and iTunes. And there's a number of people who've been on this platform, who've been supportive, who've bought the book, who've promoted it. I want to say thank you to all, and the viewers also. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So I'm hoping that what we've been presenting on this platform has been a help to your life. So thank you again, very kindly. So we're going to continue. Let me just pull up the banner. We've been talking about time. I said I love the scripture of the sons of Issachar had an understanding of the time. So then I asked myself, so what about the other ones, the other tribes? 12, they didn't have an understanding of the times, only the sons of Issachar. But that is life, right? I think that they were set apart, they were special. So yeah, don't mind me, I'm still looking for my, there it is. Okay, so the second place that I found, this is from, it's called Freedom Sprout. And it says that there's 5 seasons in a person's life. So the first one is like, it talks about the season of singleness. It's interesting, especially if you're from the culture that we are from. And I keep saying that we, the women especially, even men, it's important to them, because men who are not married to, they worry about it. Yes, so I can't say it's women only. The only problem I have is how women seem to be the only ones being groomed on how to manage a relationship, and it would almost seem as if women are responsible for the whole marriage. So if something is not working, oh, she's a bad wife, she's a bad woman, she doesn't know how to stroke the man's ego, she doesn't know. No, life is not like that. And I say that I'm saying this to get to a point. In your season, a lot of young ladies push themselves. Oh, I want to get married. Oh, everybody's getting married. What's happening to me? You know something? Enjoy your season of singleness. That is when you can travel. That is when you can do anything that you want to do. Like, say, you go, oh, I want to take a pottery class, or I want to go do painting. Go do it. I want to I want to learn something, because there's nothing in your way, no limitations, nobody to say, hey, you can't do this now because we are doing this or that. So learn to manage. If you are somebody who knows yourself, knows what you want out of life, and you have a plan, this is the moment to put out that plan. You see, a lot of us spend our time waiting for the man to come. So we don't know who we are, and we go into these situations. And then when the man comes, okay, it's his agenda. Sometimes it's just only his agenda, sadly, or it becomes our agenda. And then because you didn't know where you came from, and I'm just saying, talking out of the top of my head, but it's sounding good to me, because I've said a lot of things. You've heard me on this platform talking about how women get into marriages and they don't have any plan for themselves, so they get lost. This is where it starts from. Because if you know you are doing something, your husband comes and maybe you've started a business, maybe you are into making beads or bags or bangles or something, and he sees that you are established, he's not going to come and ride roughshod over you. He asks you, oh, is this something you want to see continuing? Or, he'll ask some pertinent questions, and then you can tell him what your aspirations or your vision for the future is regarding that business or whatever else that you are doing. But if you're so, oh, I'm supposed to be married, this is what my mom and my grandmother have told me, oh, do everything for the man, and then you get lost in the equation, you only have yourself to blame. So I'm just saying that, young ladies, discover who you are in your seasons of singleness. Know what you'll stand for and what you won't stand for, so that when the man comes, you also have your plan written down and you can give it to him. He brings his, you look at it. If things you are doing or where you come from or whatever your perception is of life is not in agreement with what he wants, then I mean, I'm sorry, don't get desperate. Maybe it's not meant to be. Leave it and pray for the right one to come along. So the next season is the season of marriage. This is where you meet your spouse. And a lot of times we don't, it's I don't know how to explain it. For those of us, oh, hello. Hello, Bishop. How are you? Long time. in your season of marriage, yes, you've met somebody else, you have to keep their interest. How do I explain it? You have to take their interest into consideration. There's a lot of adjustments. Look, I heard a horror story of somebody, an example that I heard somebody present in another program a while back, that some people are so used to being by themselves that it's so hard for them to even be in the same room and the same bed with another person. And this woman actually was talking to a friend. I don't know if it was a male friend, that, oh, she's not used to having to think of somebody else, that she would rather the man sleep in another room. That is very dangerous. It's our parents, the old people. Some of them used to be like that. They had separate rooms. And I don't know if it's a product of our colonial whatever. Me growing up, I like reading. That's why I loved reading. That's why I become a writer. I used to read. I liked Harlequin romances and the Barbara Cartland, the British type stories. Lord this, Viscount that, Duke that, blah blah. So you see these horrible things, situations of the women has their own room there. So I think that that's where we learned all this from. But it's an adjustment. Love comes with an adjustment. There's things that happen in this season of life. If the love is there and you're enjoying each other, it can be so blissful and all that. But still, there's some growing pains within it. That is a season of life, and you'll get used to being just the two of you, and then of course, then the seasons of having children comes, and it becomes problematic because some of us women, especially with the African women, a lot of women will tell you that they only even have sex because they want to have children, if you believe that. So then the children have come, then, thank you, then their eyes are focused only on the children. They've forgotten the man. Yes. And so I know this is where I like our Abrofo brothers and sisters, because they make time. They make time to be together. So hire a babysitter, go and have a we time or us time, go out and do something. Yes. So um it becomes it's something else. Yeah, because the woman feels that she's lost herself, her body is not the same. And some of these men are men, some of them can be very weird and strange. I would say strange or strange. You that you wanted a child, now the woman's body has changed, that too becomes a different mix. We'll go there. So all these things are the having children stuff. Then you come to the area of season of an empty nest. I'm inching close to that. Yeah, because your children will grow up and they'll marry and they'll go away. That is a season of life, time, a time season. So what do you do? So this is where I tell you, men or women, you have been sitting there and my children, oh, I want to get married. The singleness, you missed it. You didn't have a plan for your life. I want to get married, oh, then you came and got married. You came, maybe you are married to some man. Yes, thank you. You're married to some man who doesn't want women to do anything because it threatens his ego or his insecurity. So you are stuck at home watching the children and the children and the children, cooking his meals, doing this, doing that. Meanwhile, you are dying inside slowly. Just dying so slowly. Yes, you are dying slowly. And then the children leave. And then there's two strangers looking at each other. You have to have something for you that you call your own. So you are in a relationship, there's requirements of that relationship, build it. But when you are apart, man, woman, you need to have something of your own that you want to do. Yes, it's so important. So, and then it goes on to talk about the special seasons. Like some of the special seasons could be, say, maybe the loss of a dear one, or maybe if you are dealing with a special needs child and all that. So basically, what I've been doing today is I've talked about, I read from page 123 of my book, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. There it is. And it was focused on the sons of Issachar. who had understanding of the times. So I was laughing earlier saying, so only they understood it. So what about the others? The Reubenites and the Gadites and the whoever them, they didn't know. Ephraimites, they didn't know the times. These guys, so they are special, like when you have an understanding of the times, it means you are proactive. You take initiative, you plan. You say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. This is how we're going to do it. So you look at it like a planner was a Joseph. Joseph, I did something on Joseph and I called him. I said Joseph was very resourceful because when all the food was finishing and the famine was coming, or just the ideas when he was interpreting Pharaoh's dreams, look at him, the logistics and how he mapped everything out. Pharaoh looked at him and said, why should I go and get somebody else when you are right here under my nose? So yes, Joseph became I call him prime minister. So all these things, it's very important to be using your time wisely. I will use myself as an example. I had my book launch on Friday, but there's different things, different ideas that have come out as a follow-up, because if you've done a book launch, you have to maintain the momentum so people promote the book, so people know it's out there and go and get it. Because you can sit and so I just wrote a book because I loved it. You spent money to do it. So at least do things such that you can recover the money you spent and then some. So for me, there's lots to do. So every day you take a little and you do it. You take a little and you do it, right? The Bible says that, where did I even write it? There's a time and a place for everything. There is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. So if you have been brought on this earth and you think that you're just going to live anyhow and just wait to die, I'm sorry, that is not the best thing for your life. So, in conclusion, I'm just going to take a look, or let's take a look at some scriptures from the Bible on time. Colossians 4:5. Let's see. I think I like New King James Version. Let me see. Colossians 4:5. What does it say? Walk in wisdom towards those who are outside, redeeming the time. I'm focusing redeeming the time, or redeem the time. Don't waste your life. Do not waste time. Ephesians 5:16. What does that one say? To see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Again, redeeming the time. So Psalm 90 verses 12, is that what I wrote? There are some more. Psalm 90 verse 12. Where is that one? So teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days. You have to know that you have a set time. You think you have all the time. You are sitting there, I won't do this, I won't do that. You want things to be perfect before you start doing anything. Please, so you need to understand the times. The time to do anything is now. If you go back on my page, Auntie Yaa'S book corner, look for the what do you call it, the book launch. I told people that if they don't get anything out of anything we said, they should just say, Auntie Yaa'S said, just do it. Like Nike, just do it. Don't sit there and put fear in yourself. Just do it. Redeem the time. The time to do anything is now. We are we have people full of fear and timidity. We don't want to take risks, but your life is passing by. Your life is passing by, so you need to act. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. So you draw your plan, pray about it, draw the plan, and then start working. Ephesians 2:10. Let's see what that one says. All the Bible scholars, I'm sure you know it, but I can never quote anything. I have an idea, but I can't quote it word for word, but so his for we are his workmanship created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Remember, I told you at the beginning that you are here for a purpose. God put it in you. So it's for you to find out what it is and live, do that, make an impact, live meaningfully. Yes, you are not just here, keke. Go to work, come home, sleep, eat fufu, drink beer or whatever. Just keep, no. If you are happy like that, that is fine. But I'll tell you, most people are not. If only we would be honest with ourselves and speak the truth. If you are not doing anything with yourself except going to Koye Jumadin, go and do this hard work, 3, 4 jobs, come and plop into bed, and then you send the money back home to those people who want to chew you up and eat you anyway. Is there any point to it? Mhm. Look, do not waste time. It does not matter what age you are. I said one of the topics that I think it's the topic we did last week, stepping stones, limitations, and all that. At the time that I was writing these stories for this book, I think it was 2 years ago, I discovered that a woman had written her first book of poetry at 101 years old. That is what I like about white people. At any age, they'll get up and say, I'm going to do something. It's not that it doesn't come with challenges, but they are not scared to take the challenges. But us, we'll be sitting there, worrying, worrying, worrying. And then when other people are trying to do it, oh, then we pull him down. We pull them down. Instead of asking questions and say, hey, how did you start this? I want to do this. I know you have an idea about it. Can you point me in the right direction? Or even at all, you even do your own research. Yes. So there it is. If you don't know, you think you were just brought on this earth just to come and drift through. Like, where's Amajo? Shyla Adamson. She was Auntie Yaa'S says, do not drift through life. Yes. You were brought here for a purpose. Ephesians 2:10 tells you what it is. I'll read it again. For we are his workmanship created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. And the last passage that I'll leave you with today, Jeremiah 29:11. So, and it says, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. That future and a hope is not God coming from heaven to come and do it for you. You just plan, lay your plans before Him, take action. Take action. Be prayerful, but take action. Pray over your plans, what you want to do. Take action. Find like-minded people or experienced people who can help you and take action. So I'm saying this, we've been here today talking about understanding the times. If you're in your 20s, don't think that you have all the time in the world. I've been there. And if I had people speaking, I don't regret anything right now. I thank God that even at this stage, I've become aware and I'm able to speak and advise people behind me. Can you imagine if I hadn't come to that awareness? I'll just be waiting, sitting around, waiting for old age to come, and I wouldn't have done anything. We bless people with the benefit of our experiences. So don't think that I'm 20 and I'm young. Look, these days they're 10, 15-year-olds. Everything is digital. They know their way around and they are making money, lots and lots of it. It's not to say money is everything, but I'm saying that they are resourceful. They are using this thing up here. Yes. So don't fool around and then hit 30. It doesn't take long to go from 30 to 40. Yes. And then from 40 to 50. You see, when you are in your 20s, you are insecure, all kinds of silly things, this and that. People are saying things, you believe them. People perceive you a certain way, and you are so insecure. You don't know who you are, basically. You are buying to their perceptions of you. When I hit the 40, I said, forget it. I chucked it out the window. I said, this is who I am. You take it or you leave it. But even then, it has come with much struggle because everywhere you go, people think, oh, this person, what are they about? What are they doing? They view you as a threat. They push you, they sideline you, and you keep sitting there and take it till one day you go, no, I can't take this anymore. I need to get out and do me. It doesn't matter. No, we need to be a people who are about building people up, encouraging people. Yes, people there, we always talk about destiny helpers and this and that. Nobody got anywhere by themselves. It takes people coming alongside them and helping them. So all of us need to try to be people who help other people to get where they have to go. If you understand the times and you know that time is, you have a finite time on this earth. Yes, you can be wealthy, you can be arrogant, you can be whatever, you can think you are the most beautiful woman on this earth. You will die one day. We're all going to go. But the beauty of it is, while you are here, make the best of it and leave a mark, leave a legacy, make an impact, bless somebody. Don't just drift through life. So, with that said, let me read messages comment. Time is like a river. You cannot touch the same water twice. The flow that has passed will never pass again. Thank you, message. Thank you. That's very profound. I've always said that it's seven. What is it? 7:13 at my end here. 2 hours ago, it was 5:13. This statement just explains it. 5:13 on July 29th is never coming this way again. We're moving forward, moving on and up. So I've said a lot. I trust that we got something out of it. And let's walk circumspectly. Do what you love. Manage your time. Live wisely. Bless others. Live a fruitful life. Be happy. Be joyful. There are people who are so stuck in the past, stuck in whatever I can't even call it. They are just stuck, fear, whatever it is that has immobilized them. They are not able to do anything with themselves. Don't be one of them. Just break out, break out, break out of any box that you've been put in. That's when life will become meaningful for you. Hey, I thank you so much. I'm going to put the banner up again for those who may not have seen it. So, Auntie Yaa'S book corner is on vacation after today. We'll be back on August the 15th. So, take care of yourselves and be safe. For those of you, Miss Sage, Bishop, and anybody else that I missed who came on, thank you for joining me. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Be safe and be good. Love you all. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Take care. Ajwa. I'll read your comment before I go. True talk, pa, an awesome topic. One can never go back to change the past, but has the ability to change his or her certain conditions based on choices, cycle of friends who he or she follows, listen to, time consuming on decision makings, learning to appreciate time spent. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss A. God bless you all. Love you. Bye bye.